the apex with some PVC 19/32 tubing and 17/32 tubing. I'm only going to do one for now because I don't know if I have enough of the inner barrel here. I have a lot of the 19/32, but this is my only 17/32 at the moment, so we'll see how it goes. But this was actually the same size as the piece of PVC that I had originally, and I got 5 plus I think 1 or 2, so I'll have a few extra for the the other one, but for now we're just gonna do the one. I already pre-cut these. If you notice that they're not even at all, which doesn't really matter. You just want to get close enough. The main one that you want to get closer even is the barrels, especially the inner to the outer barrel. These don't need to be long enough to go all the way through, just because the air is going to come through the back. But you know, the tighter the seal, the better. And if you do ever want to, like, say you cut these, I didn't measure these, I just eyeballed them. But you can see some are long, some are short. But you know, for the majority of them, I believe they're pretty close to each other. Let's see here. Those two are tall. That one's a little tall. And then these are pretty much the same. I noticed that this one's kind of at an angle, but whatever. So now we're just gonna try to fit them in. I try to make them, they're not gonna fit all the way in here because I noticed that it's widest at the front and then it kind of gets narrow. So it does stop. I try to get these as close as I could because I wanted to be able to spin, you know, inside the blaster itself. And if you ever need to take these out, I use, you know, a pair of needle nose pliers just to grip and pull out straight. That's good enough. It's pretty much in there, except for maybe these two, but you know, it's fine. Then the next part is we need to measure the outer tubing. Again, it doesn't have to be exact, like, you know, because these weren't exact, but you have to, you know, imagine roughly. And the thing is, you can actually push this all the way through, and it will actually stop at the back here. So I'm wondering if I should only cut it that much or put it all the way to the back. Because as you can see, it's still loose. Let's see. If I put this in there, I can go all the way, actually connect. I just don't want that to come out. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. So that we'll need something, maybe just half a piece of tape around half of the barrel on the outside, just for it to stay, just for it to stick in there. And then we'll mark it and then carve it out. Start with this one. I'm going to mark it with a little knife here, just so I can see it. So that's all the way in. There we go, just like that. Let's see. Line that up enough. So there's the marker there on that one. So we're right about the same, which is about there. Okay. And then I have one of these. I have other things that would probably cut this as well, because this brass tubing is very forgivable, I guess. Because I just use this with a pair of pliers, just squeezing it just to get it out of somewhere, and it's pretty lightweight compared to like aluminum or something. So what you do is you just take one of these and you put it in between these two bearings right here, and the blade is not sharp at all. You want to put that right over it. So we're going to find our mark, which is right there, and we're going to put it right where the blade is. You can close it up enough for it to stay. Sometimes it's hard to do because it's a round object. But just so it stays in place. Right on the mark. Which I believe is there. Yeah. And then you're going to want to tighten it. Don't tighten it too tight because you don't want to squish it inwards, because you do want to use this, you know, the tubing. But just do it a little bit and then rotate. And then tighten it a little bit and rotate. And you should come out with a pretty clean cut here. If it does squish it a little bit, you can always go in afterwards and spray it apart with either needle nose pliers or just regular pliers. There we go. Usually when you clip one side, it's usually on its last leg like that, and you just pull it apart. Now see how it's like kind of folding into itself? That's when you take these guys, just go like that. To make it open up a little bit, you can do it on this side as well, especially this side, because look at this side. I'm actually going to form that out a little bit. And do that again. If there's any debris, like sharp debris, because these, you know, it's still metal, so it could have a sharp edge to it. Always get rid of that, because you don't want to cut yourself, because this stuff hurts as bad as a paper cut. Alright, so I'm going to take this, put that in there like that, and it fits pretty good. It actually fits perfectly in there, oddly enough. So I'm going to take that out. I'm going to get a little piece of tape. Just a little piece. All right. Let's see, since this side is more open as opposed to this side, I'm going to put it around this end. Well, yeah, because I have to put the other tube inside of it. Now when I put the other tube inside of it, it's basically going to go in the opposite way. So the tighter end, like this end, will be out this end and frayed more. And that's so the dart can go in there and basically, you know, it'll be hard to put in, but that's good because that'll mean more pressure when it comes out. So let's see if this worked. What's that one? The only problem with this kind of tape, that snags on the edge sometimes. But with enough pushing, it does that sometimes, which is a pain. Let's see here. Actually push the barrel in a little bit, which is fine. Oh, that might be why. Okay. Tape. There it is. Yeah, to cut the PVC like this, you can use, where's my thing? I mean, what I use is I use my saw, just because it's quicker and it's usually more efficient than my hands that aren't steady. Get all the scrap off of it. So this is the saw that I use, the little hand saw. And you just go straight across, it goes straight, and it goes pretty quick because there's not much material to cut on PVC, which is really good. But if you don't want to mess with anything, you know, electric, they usually have these. These are for cutting, you know, PVC. You just crank it, and then it slowly slices through. But once you get to, let's say, I won't do it all the way, but you'll see. Once you get it to the part where it's actually going to grip it, you have to go pretty fast to get a clean cut with these, or else it will squish the PVC like the brass does, and you can't really flare out the ends of this to fix it. So I wouldn't recommend that unless one of the ends you're not going to use, pretty much. I'd rather just use a saw. Either a hacksaw will do, motorized saw as you saw. That was a weird sentence. Motorized saw as you saw. But yeah, you know. Okay, let's try this tape again. I think I'm putting too much of a piece too. I just need a little one. Actually, just use this. Yeah, maybe like a third. Let's see here. It was in this one. Yeah, so that's enough. It won't fall out. And then I think I marked this one right. It's right there. Okay, so we take this guy again. That's at the line that I marked it at. Is that it? Sometimes it's hard to tell because it's hard to scratch on brass and see it. There it is. I believe that's it. Yeah. And whenever you're doing this, make sure that it's straight so it sets in between those two, because I've done it before where I shoved it in all the way and it wasn't working. It was actually screwing up the piping or whatever I was trying to do. Hear it cutting. Let's see. we go. So there's a flared side, there's a non-flared side. I'm going to file this down just a smidge. That's also a good thing to have on hand. Files. I got a set of 3 when I first started getting into modding. I have a circular one for, like, you know, inside holes and stuff like this. And then I have a flat edge and another flat edge, which is a little bit bigger. And I just want to get this so it's not going to hurt me or anybody else. Because I noticed that there's a lip right there of extra material. And you can find these at, you know, Home Depot, Lowe's, wherever. Alright. Wind that out a little bit. And I shouldn't need tape for this, hopefully. It's gonna go... I do need tape for that. That's fine though. It's all trial and error. I'm gonna do one that's all the way around just because it looks a little looser than the one that's in there comparatively. Let's see this end. Alright, see how that works. Still low loose. Yeah, because that's going to fly out. Don't want that. So maybe twice around on the inner barrel. Has anybody started watching Christmas movies yet? I watched a few yesterday. Yeah, I haven't watched any today yet. Let's see. Yesterday I started watching Christmas movies. I watched 8-Bit Christmas, which is on HBO, and it was actually pretty good. It has Neil Patrick Harris, and it's basically about. It kind of reminded me a lot about A Christmas Story, and maybe a little bit of Jingle All the Way, but it's pretty funny. But it's about him telling his now daughter how he wanted the original Super Nintendo in 1988 for Christmas, and his parents said no, and all the parents were saying no to video games back then because they were protesting that it was like causing kids to go nuts or whatever. And the famous kid in the neighborhood, of course, got one, and then he ended up wrecking it a little bit. But it's a pretty good movie. The way that I rate Christmas movies is basically if it's rewatchable, like, you know, the next year. Like when I watched Hubie Halloween for Halloween, I saw that last year. I'll watch it again this year because it has that quality of rewatchability. If it doesn't, I'm not gonna watch it again. So, you know, and that's what I base like my movie collection on mostly. That was like too much now. A little bit too much. I'm just gonna do the one barrel tonight because I actually have a cool mod for tomorrow, and I can finish the rest of these up on my own time. I just wanted to show you how to do one for now. Tomorrow, I got my mod kit from oh my god, Foamdemic, Yeah, that's it. Foam divot for the Mark III. It's a front end kit for it. So I'm going to be putting that on tomorrow. Let me know if you guys want to live on that or not, because I'll just do a video, or we'll do a live at 8 p.m. PST, like we did the other day. And I noticed that 3D Printed Solid, I follow him on Instagram, and he just announced that he has made a thumb hole stock like the one for the Dart Zone Spectre, and I think he has one for like the, or not the Spectre, well, the Adventure for Spectrum here I have, but the one that I have is for the Striker. But now he's made one for the Mark III, for the Dart Zone Pro Mark III. So I was like, yeah, okay, I need this because I'm gonna guess that the front end is gonna add on some weight, and to balance it out, I need a good stock, equally heavy stock. So I asked him, I sent him a message because I couldn't find it on his site yet. So maybe he's in the process of putting it on. Hopefully I get a message from him soon. This seems pretty tight. Just gonna whack this in a little bit. Almost there. Yeah, that's pretty tight in there. There is a little bit of room to move, but that's good because you want a little bit at least, just to be able to pull it out, and near those pliers if you have to. You always want a little bit of space, just enough to take them out. And once you take one out, you should be able to take the rest out. So yeah, that's basically how you do it. Like you saw, I didn't measure it at all. I just eyeballed it. You just put in the 1930 seconds. Mark it, right at the edge, right at the PVC. Cut that off with one of these cutters. This is a Husky, what's it called? Husky pipe cutter? I think I found this at Home Depot a long time ago. I think they have bigger ones, but I just need a small one because I'm just cutting brass with them. But yeah, it's pretty easy. And then it will be loose, so make sure you have electric tape to make it, not too wobbly in there. And then the final test is to see if the dart fits fine. Now, you see like that hole looks a little small, which it is. So that means that I can fray it out some. Don't know if it's going to work while I'm in there. Let me see. Come on. Sometimes you gotta squeeze them in. Okay. I usually squeeze at least the bottom part in, and then I kind of twist them in. So yeah, that's pretty good right there. Try to move that back in without messing it up. And if you ever have trouble like with the others, I'll make sure that the this part's frayed enough to just slip in the dart and not, but it's pretty stuck in there, so when it does fire, it will come out pretty hard. And let's see here. And both the brass, they're not touching this part, but they're pretty, wait, is it? No, it's not touching it. It's really close though. So, if you want it to touch, you can always push it in. But there should be enough power behind this to, hit something. Let's put it in to test it. Just the one barrel. Put that away. sure that that tab's on the right way. Yep, should be good. Make sure that's on. It's always a blind thing going into reassembling this blaster, just because the catch needs to line up, and I can't see it. There we go. Screwdriver. Put that all in because we will need that. Oh, there's a better one over here. That was inside the house. There we go. I was wondering why that wasn't closing. One more up here. That's right done. Priming bar. Okay, and the final piece is this. This way. Alright, sorry about that guys, the camera shut off and I didn't even notice. Okay, so I put everything back together. I didn't put this front part on because it wouldn't fire, because these do need to be filed down for it to rotate and shoot, because under there it's very it doesn't like to do that. You are going to have to make sure that the PVC is either inside like that one or just on the edge of the same length as the actual barrel. Let me get a short dart to test it for you. So I put it right in there if I can. All right, I'm gonna prime it. and it's ready to go. I'm gonna step back and fire it. So yeah, it's shot, but the barrels did come out, so I will have to tighten them somehow. Probably a little bit more tape, who knows. But yeah, I'll have to fidget with it. But basically, that's how you do a brass barrel with PVC. So I think other than that, if you guys have any questions, leave them down in the comments below. Please like, follow, share, and subscribe if you're not. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.